Well, hello there, dearie. Tell me, did you have a safe trip here? I'd assume so. After all, you are in one piece, aren't you? Now, have you ever been to a Wicked Wisdom convention before? Oh, so it's your first time then? Well, you're in for a real treat. I think this is my 27th year, and I look forward to it each and every time. Except, of course, that one year they had it at the Swamp of Sorrow. That was a bit too dreary, even for me. And that's saying something. So, today, it's my honor and privilege. Well, it might be your honor and privilege after all. I am an experienced witch. But either way, I'm going to help you choose a broom. Now, a broom is a very important part of the Wicked Wisdom Convention, as many of the events, especially in the evening, revolve around broom rides and excursions, things of that nature. Every night I go for a little spin around the local villages and wreak a bit of havoc. Nothing too serious, of course, but it is good to have a reliable broom handy while you're here, and then of course you can bring it home with you. So, to find the perfect broom, I think we need to find out a bit more about your magic. So tell me, what kind of spells do you cast? What kind of magical practitioner would you consider yourself? Do you lean more toward nature-based magic or just pure wickedness? Oh, all right. So something a bit more versatile then. Sounds delightful. Now, I have a trusty oak broom that I purchased in a little shop just on the outskirts of Oz. But there are a variety of brooms here in this particular establishment that I think you'll find to your liking. I had a little peruse around the shop before you arrived, and I handpicked a few that are probably most suitable for your magical talents. Yes. Well, they give us a dossier beforehand of the clients we'll be meeting with, and, your profiles sounded intriguing to me, because you and I share a variety of things in common. Well, for instance, we both have a general aversion to cheer and hopefulness, and, we don't particularly like water. Yes. But, let's see here. Let's get right down to it, shall we? Now, this first one I'd like to show you is a beautiful example of craftsmanship. It actually has a glass handle, which is rather atypical for brooms of this variety. And down the center there, you can see it has a rather long tendril of hair. And this is said to have belonged to one of the princesses. I'm not quite sure whom. If you do decide to purchase this broom, you can go through the authentication process and see more about it, find out about its history. You can do that for any of the brooms, really, especially the more historic ones, the antiques, things like that. Now, this one has some lovely etching here along the glass, which I find particularly beautiful. And I believe this is a spell of some sort. The magical properties that this offers the witch who rides it is the ability of hindsight. So what that means is that essentially you'll be able to see into anyone's past just by coming into contact with them while you're riding the broom. Yes, it's quite a unique feature. You can learn a lot about someone, maybe learn about their pet peeves or something in their past that you can use against them, which is always one of my favorite things to do. This next broom here is more of a traditional example. It has an oak wood handle. Yes, it's lovely, isn't it? Now, this one dates back, I'm told, to around about 1792, and it's been beautifully preserved for its age. This one has a protection spell imbued within it, so you won't have to worry about magical hexes or any light magic interrupting your day. Yes, well, actually, the broom that I have at the moment, I have an extensive collection, but the one I'm using is imbued with a similar protection spell, and I find it quite handy. Now, let's see here. This next one here is made out of cherry wood. It's a lovely dark finish, and I find it particularly intriguing because, as you can see here, there are teeth marks on it. Now, I've been told that these teeth marks belong to a dragon, and that in the process of that particular adventure, the witch who owned this enchanted it with a fire protection spell, so you won't have to worry about it burning up or anything of that sort, which is always good for a broom because they are rather flammable now, aren't they? Yes. Well, speaking of dragons, I actually have another one I'd like to show you that's somewhat similar. It's this one here. It's another oak wood piece. However, this one also has dragon's teeth running right down the center. Now, you can't see it, of course, unless you wanted to have it authenticated again, where they'll go through an X-ray process. But I'm not quite sure, actually, what the dragon's teeth advantage is, other than it's kind of a novelty. Very few brooms, I would assume, have dragon's teeth running right down the middle. Yes, I know that dragon's blood has a variety of magical properties, but I'm not aware of anything related to dragon's teeth. So, let's see. Oh, this is a lovely one. Now, this is made out of hazelwood, and it is unique, especially or handy for wicked witches, because it is the broom of despair. That's what it's known as anyway. It's been around for several hundred years, and it's passed many, many hands. But there's a myth around it that essentially a witch several centuries ago cast a curse on it, where anyone who touches it is able to essentially bring a dark cloud wherever they go. Not literally, of course, but it's great if you're dealing with more cheery people, or for instance, you want to take a night ride into the village and just cast a little bit of doubt into everyone's minds and wipe the smiles off their faces. This is something that would definitely be useful. I'm thinking about picking up on one similar myself. Probably not the despair one, however, because, I like to cast those kinds of spells individually, depending upon the person. If I can see that someone is particularly optimistic, well then, I'll put a frown on their faces with a heartbreak curse or a toothache hex, something of that variety. Let's see. The next one. The next one is more of a generic type of broom. It doesn't really have any historical significance associated with it, which is good because sometimes it's nice to get a fresh start with a broom. After all, you'll be the first one to own it, and you can start the historical chain that people talk about for centuries. Especially if you hone your magical talents, of course, and end up in the Witch's Almanac. So, This one is just made out of typical birch wood, which is quite a reliable wood. It doesn't have any hexes or anything associated with it, any protection spells, enchantments. It's really kind of a blank slate that you can do whatever you like with, which again is a nice little feature, especially if you want to custom tailor it to meet your particular magical needs. Yes. Well, I have several brooms in my collection that I purchased brand new for this very reason, because I feel as though a broom is a very personal thing, and it's nice to have something that you can really make your own and kind of cultivate a relationship with and personalize it any way you please. So, let's see. I have a couple more to show you, I believe. Oh, this is a delightful one. Now, this is actually another hand-blown glass one. It has a large handle, rather thick, so it's nice, and in it are flower petals, and they're wilted because that's when they have their most wicked magical potency. So this one is actually a light magic broom that has been transformed into a dark magic accessory, which are sometimes a little bit tricky to master. Sometimes they can slip back into their old habits. But if you train it right and really give it the time and attention it deserves, you'll be able to make it very powerful. Now, the flowers within it, I'm told, are lilacs, roses, and a handful of plumerias. And they were taken from the wedding bouquet of a famous historical figure. And I'm told that I'm not exactly at liberty to divulge who it is for legal reasons. And evidently there's certain claims on this broom. But let's just say she has a lovely singing voice. All right, yes. And she likes animals a lot. But I can't say anything more. No. Let's see. There are a couple more I'd like to show you. I hope you're enjoying yourself. After all, I am spending my time helping you peruse a shop, so I hope I'm not wasting my precious time here at the Wicked Wisdom Convention. After all, I do so enjoy it. Kind of commiserating with some of my friends and sharing our magical exploits that we've had throughout the year. Now, who are you meeting with while you're here, dearie? Oh, lovely. So the whole gang then. Oh, well, one of my favorites is Ursula. I have to tell you, she is such a delight to be around. I do hope she shows you her magical collection of voices. It's stupendous. Oh, good. So anyway, back to the brooms. Let's see here. Oh, this is an elmwood broom. And again, it's very low on the magical scale in terms of spells. I think it's very lightly imbued with a speed spell, so you will go a bit faster. But again, that's good so that you can go ahead and customize it any way you like and add any additional hexes or enchantments that you like to the broom itself. Yes. And then I have this last one here, and I think I saved a bit of a doozy for you. Now, there's very little known about this particular broom. As you can see, it's your typical oak wood, but it has a number of gems in the handle, in the stick itself. So you have some jade and some emerald, I believe a few sapphire and ruby. So it's an absolutely beautiful specimen. However, The broom has a tendency to be a bit finicky. It doesn't quite know what magical alignment it prefers. So one day it could be dealing with dark nature magic, and another it could want to perform a variety of light-hearted spells. So you have to be careful with it. It's not the most loyal, and it has a tendency to wander. However, if you're the right person and you can form a bond with it, it will prove to be a very reliable and trustworthy broom for you. There have been several witches who have attempted to possess the broom. I say possess, but not control it, because there is no possible way to control this number. But they've all failed in some way, shape, or form. In fact, one of them fell to her death. It was absolutely tragic. But like I said, if you can persuade it to be your companion, then really the sky's the limit, literally. So, are there any that kind of tickle your fancy? Oh, good. That's a lovely choice. Well, it's all part of your Wicked Wisdom Convention package, so you actually owe absolutely nothing. Oh, yes. We like to kind of embrace our new members and reward them with little gifts here and there, so you'll be getting a variety of different treats while you're here at the convention. It's something to look forward to, right? Oh, good. Well, I hope it was a pleasure to meet me. And I hope you enjoy yourself while you're here at the Wicked Wisdom Convention this year. Yes, well, I'll be seeing you around.